Hi, today we're gonna show you how to make flatbread. So we start with our ingredients. We use 60 grams of warm water, about 26-30 degrees, 8 grams of instant yeast, and a pinch of sugar. Now we mix all this together, and we'll leave it for about up to 5 minutes to activate the yeast. So in the meantime, get a bowl, half a kilogram of plain flour, 7 grams of salt, and we let it rest.
Just like that?
Yeah.
Why are you letting that rest like that?
Well, because we're waiting for our yeast to
you're waiting
activate.
for the yeast.
Yeah, so those are quite fresh yeast. I can see it's happening already.
How do you know if the yeast is happening?
You're gonna get this frothy stuff. So once it froths, that means the bacteria is alive, and then we can mix it all together.
Yeah, because when I'm at home, sometimes making bread, I'm a bit unsure what I'm
Yeah,
looking
you get
for.
a little bit of froth. As you can see, this one is already there. So what we can do?
Is it there? It's there already.
Yeah, right. So now we have 250 milliliters of warm water. We mix those together. Get our flour. Make a little well. Put this one in here, and just mix it all together.
Let's see if you can manage to mix it without using your hands.
I will have to do it later.
You will have. There you go.
But this one we can actually.
And what's nice about the bread we're making today, this flatbread, which is sort of a variation on pita breads and luffers and all those other flatbreads from all over the world and the Middle East, is this is vegan. There's no milk in it.
That's right.
Because often when I'm out eating bread, I'm always like, I can taste the milk.
Yeah, but see, this recipe, wherever I got it from, it originally had milk in it, but of course I replaced it with water. So leave it like this for 5 minutes, let the gluten work, and then we go back to it, and then we can start kneading it. So right, it's been about 5-6 minutes now. So again, the reason why we left it for that 5 minutes is when we're gonna knead the bread, it's not gonna stick so much to our hand.
Only 5 minutes doesn't sound very long.
No, but that's when we just mixed it, put it for 5 minutes. Now we start kneading. So a bit of flour, and this probably take us.
Well, you do that very nicely, chef.
I love making breads. I do that every time. I mean, who's the best bread maker, flatbread?
It's true. Where did I learn to make sourdough, Morris?
Yes. So we don't want too much flour. What we're doing, we stretch, fold, turn, stretch, fold, turn. You know, we want to develop the gluten as much as possible. Then our bread is going to be much better quality.
What do you mean, develop the gluten?
So what happens? Flour contains gluten. So once we mix it with water, the gluten develops a network inside. So the more you stretch it, those network.
Okay, but when you're talking about gluten now, you're using just basic bread flour,
This is just a regular white flour, plain flour.
So it's regular plain flour. It's nothing fancy.
No, nothing fancy.
Plain
You
flour
can use bread flour. It won't change anything. I mean, the difference between them, they grind in different size. That's all.
Okay.
But for this is good enough.
All right. I mean, we ate a lot of bread growing up at home. Whenever I said I'm hungry, what did my dad say? Eat bread.
Yeah.
And then I would be stuffing myself with bread, and then he'd come up with this great Arabic Abu Khabaz. Well, what's that now? Oh, the father of bread. You made me into the person who ate bread, and then you call me Abu Khabaz. That's my bread story for today.
Oh, I see. Right, so dough is ready now.
How do you know the bread is ready? According to the chef, press it down, and when it's not going all the way down and springing all the way back up, basically it doesn't really make the hole anymore, it's ready.
Yeah, I put a little bit of oil in here, dough in, so that just doesn't get.
How long are we going to leave it now?
Well, it all depends on the temperature in your room. So I would say we're not that hot in here. I'll probably take about anywhere between half an hour and 45 minutes.
Okay.
But if your kitchen is, nice and warm, and let's say you're cooking a lot and so on, it might even take 20 minutes. What we want to achieve in here, double in size. Every time.
So that's when you know it's
ready. Every time you do yeasty stuff, it double in size. That means it's done. Right. So our bread, as you can see.
Oh, that's looking nice, chef.
Yeah. Well, that's at least double size, and it took about 40 minutes.
Double the size.
The kitchen is not really hot, so sprinkle a bit of flour on the surface. Make my hand floury, and we take the bread out. Well, the dough. Right, we just want to leave it like this. Be very gentle with it.
Okay.
So out of this, we might take about, depending how thick we want our bread, let's say anywhere between 8 to 6 portions. If you want it larger, thicker, then obviously you judge it yourself. Right, we'll stretch it a tiny bit and cut it to portions. So I'm gonna make them quite large. Let's give it 6 breads. Right, so next thing, don't need too much flour. We fold them like this.
Why are you still folding them?
So it's easier to get the round shape, and then we just give it a nice.
I'm going to give that a try. What did you do?
Yeah, from each kind of side.
Just to give it a round.
That's right.
Okay.
One of the reasons why we don't work on the dough again is because when we actually roll in it, it's gonna be easier. So we don't want to overdo the gluten, because then you roll it and it comes back again, you know?
You mean when it shrinks?
Yeah. So
Why? That's the gluten.
That's the gluten. So that's why we don't want to work on it too much. Bit of flour top and bottom. And now kind of like you would do a pizza. I'm gonna use a rolling pin. So don't want it too thin. I mean, depending what
Only
you want.
on one side. You're not flipping it over.
No, you can a little bit for the flour.
If you need, if it gets sticky.
Yeah. And I guess that's the shape size I want it. So what we have in here, about 5-6 mil.
Okay, I'm going to do one just by hand because you know, let's say you're at home, I'm going to make some flatbread and blah blah blah, and oh no, I haven't got a rolling pin, I can't do it.
I think that's how the whole thing started back in the days. I mean, flatbreads must be thousands of years old.
All right, that's the hand one. It's a little bit different. And I think today we are going to pan fry.
Yeah, we're gonna pan fry them. So we could use oven, but you really need a pizza oven if you want to do them right.
I think to make it nice and simple at home, there's no reason not to put it on a dry skillet or
that's right.
frying pan.
And again, at home, to get the oven, which will get up to 300 degrees, will be almost impossible. I mean, there are ovens like that, but I don't think we all have it. So at this point, we're gonna leave this.
How long for?
For about 10 minutes. So 10-15 minutes, 15 minutes probably, because it's not that hot in this kitchen. We want it to proof again, just a little bit. So cover it with cloth. And yeah, let's leave it for 10 minutes and we come back to it.
Come on, chef, let's cook the bread.
Right, so yeah, 10 minutes after, gently pick up the bread, place it on a very hot pan. We give it about 20 seconds at this point, 10-20 seconds, and we're gonna flip it. So what we're trying to do in here is sear it from one side, flip it over, gets a nice color. Pan is definitely dry and quite hot, medium to high. Now we give it a minute or so, our bread should puff up.
That's looking nice.
Yeah, it is a nice bread. See, now at this point you can see it rising slowly. We can turn it over again. Gets a nice color. And now we just wait until the bread opens fully.
I love it when it's rising like that.
You know why it rises? You know what happens inside?
I thought it was the air pockets.
Well, the bacteria gets heat and it multiplies so quickly, and it what it does, it develops so much gas. Right, so once it's puffed up like that, turn it over again. And yeah, that's ready. Let's see Michael's one. That one not gonna puff. It might. The problem with the bread is when it's uneven, you know, then it's not gonna, obviously it's stuck and it's not gonna.
Yeah, but when I go to
but it's still gonna be an amazing bread.
But when I go to some Arabic restaurant, Indian restaurant, when you get like one of their flatbreads, it's often imperfect, a little bit burnt in a few places, and I'm like, oh, that looks nice.
Because it's attractive.
That looks tasty.
Attracts you, you know, the burnt parts.
Well, that's the variation. I don't like to look at food that looks too
perfect.
Yeah,
because it looks like
it's come out of a machine or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what we're all about. Real food, real cooking.
Exactly.
Vegetables are my bag.